Okay, so today guys, what I wanted to try to go over is how to look at charts in Thinkorswim. For me personally, for swing trades, we'll say. So everybody, when they open up their Thinkorswim account, it should kind of look like this, and you'll go to charts. Now obviously yours won't look like mine, so I'm going to try to take it down to the bare bones here, and we're going to look at just probably exactly somewhat similar to what you guys are going to see. So whenever I look at stocks, I like to look at it either as up here in the top right, you can change your view to, 3 screens vertically or 4 screens kind of split like a checkerboard like this. I like to look at either 2 or 3 side by side. It's not really a big point of this video, but what I'm trying to do is just introduce you to the charts and how this system works. So up here in the top left, you can type in your ticker. So right now I'm looking at Cara Therapeutics here. So for a swing trade, what I like to do is first I'll go to the time frame here, and I'll go to, so like here's the daily. I'll go to a 1-year chart. For my swing trades personally, I like to look at where the company is at overall for the year. So right now, Cara's at 1993, the year low is 1111. So I've made multiple swing trades on Cara over this past year, made money on all of them, I think except one over the summer, but I was able to do that by looking at the graph. I bought right in here somewhere, and I luckily one day woke up and it had spiked up here. But I had bought it back in March, right in here, and I noticed, it wasn't all the way near the bottom at 1111, but 13. I like to look at the 52-week lows so that way I can kind of see a little bit of downside protection for myself. Everybody's strategies are going to be different. I'm just sharing with you guys what a strategy I use. So I like to look at the 52-week low. And Cara's one example. We could easily look at PetMed Express here. So I've swung trade this one multiple times, made money on it multiple times, lost money on it I think once or twice. But, so this past week, I initiated a swing trade on this one. Now, one reason I kind of did is because, looking at the 52-week low, 31.81, and right now it's sitting at 34.31. Let's remove these price levels here, just so that way we could get down to the bare chart here. But I have some videos where I'll go over support and resistance, but so looking at this chart here, we can see that right here at this line, it's right at about 32.80. If we go over here toward the right, it's kind of in that area, not right at it, a little higher, but I like to look at half dollars, whole dollars. So let's try to get a line drawn in here at 33 even. We can change it up a little if we gotta. So that's a little off. We can just right click on it, edit properties, and we're just going to change this to 30 even, or 33 even. So we can see it hit here. It got really, really close right over here. And, like I said, I'm trying to look at downside protection on my swing trades. And the 52-week low here is 31.81. I started my trade in at about 34.50. Not the best price personally. I wanted it actually a little lower, but I kind of went ahead and initiated the trade because I was at work and on lunch break, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get in. So if we look at the bottom of these candles over here, you can also kind of see, 34.21. And actually, if we look at the close of today all the way over here at the right, 34.31, that's pretty close. If we wanted to, we could zoom in on this and kind of look at exactly what the low is, but I'm not real worried about that, because support and resistance are all relative things. They're never perfect, they're never spot on, so I kind of look at relative things here. So let's try to line that up right about there. Now, so I'm looking at the support right here. Chart hits it a few times here, kind of hovered around in it a little here, not great there. Right here, we saw a good bounce, and right now I've started my trade here. Hopefully, I'll see it bounce. If not, I'll get out, try to limit my risk. But support and resistance, again, like in one of my other videos, but we're looking at that. So another thing I like to look at whenever you're on your chart here is I'll go to studies, and I really like to look at VWAP, which is the volume weighted average price. Kind of lets you know where you're at either for the day or over the time frame of the year. So if you're looking at it like this, you can't do a whole lot with it. Me personally, I don't do a whole lot with it. But I'll zoom in on the day. Zoom in on the day here. So if you're looking at a chart on the day, 1 minute time frame, and you're looking at a VWAP, not always, but a lot of times this the center line here is the VWAP, and these others are some type of derivative of it. I like to look at if we're below VWAP, not always, but your stock price for the day will tend to move up toward the VWAP. Good example, it kind of drifted down here right toward the open, ended up going above VWAP. Kind of drifted down throughout the day here, and what do you know? Kind of bounced back up toward the VWAP. At the end of the day here, it kind of closed way below it. Not a huge deal, 30 cents or so. For me, it's not a huge deal. But if you're looking at the intraday chart, for me, I like to look and try to enter a trade below the VWAP. If we can take this off, and another thing I like to look at is simple moving averages. So same thing, you can go to add study here, and we're looking for SMA. Easiest way for me to do is go to S. Okay, so here, simple moving average. It's one thing I really like to look at, not necessarily on the daily, sometimes on the daily, but I like to look at it a lot of time over the longer term. Now, no matter what, you can see right up here, this is a 9-day simple moving average. We can go in here and we can change this up. Go in here and change it to, we could change that to 200 days, we'll say. Now, your simple moving averages, they're going to tell you where the stock price is relative to a longer term picture. So, for me as a swing trader, simple moving average is all the way up here at 41.37. I bought all the way down here. A lot of the phrase is, the trend is your friend. Stock price, it's not perfectly going up, not by any means, but I bought significantly below it. For me, I like to look at downside protection. I think that's a good one there. Now we can go back in and edit study, change this to 9 days, which is kind of what I look at more often. And even if you look at it there, I still bought significantly below it. But I'm just kind of showing you something I look at. These are some things I like to look at for my swing trades. Just kind of wanted to share them with you guys. Anybody that's new out there, little things I do, I'll try to show you every now and then, and try to help you understand what I'm looking at whenever I enter trades for a intraday swing or a swing trade overall. Hope this is helpful, and please ask any questions if you have any.